Hey everyone, Ariel Adams here with a blog to watch. Today I'm going to review the Citizen Promaster Land U822. This is a brand new Ana-Digi watch from Citizen. That means analog digital because of the combination of an analog dial with a digital screen. And what's special about this product is the digital screen, rather than being an LCD screen, is an MIP screen. So LCD is liquid crystal display. MIP is for memory and pixel, which is quite similar to an e-ink display. And we've seen those on watches before, but I've never seen it as a subsidiary second screen. And so this is a very high functionality watch because in addition to the high contrast of a MIP screen, is higher resolution than LCD, which means that you can display a lot more information on it. So the watch doesn't have too many more features than sort of the standard they're used to, but it displays them in a clear way and it does more things with them. And you have more options in how it's displayed. In fact, if you push this pusher here, it cycles through a few different viewing modes where it has the time and date, the local time, and a second time zone, and a couple of other different features. So I like that as well. This watch is a multifunctional but non-connected watch. So it does have a Citizen EcoDrive movement, which means it's powered through sun or other light, but it's no Bluetooth, no atomic radio control, no GPS, nothing like that. They really wanted to have a fully autonomous system, and there is a customer out there that wants that. With that said, this is one of the most full-featured autonomous watches out there because of the various types of modes that's accessible through the software and viewable through the screen. My favorite one is a light intensity mode, and it does two things. One, it tells you the current light intensity, and that's important because you want to know how much it's going to be charging, right? The more light, the more efficiently it's going to be charging. The lower light, the lower charging. But it also has two graphs. And those graphs show you how much light the watch dial has been seeing over the course of a day, as well as over the course of a week, I believe. And in addition to sort of seeing how much charge you're giving the watch, there's a power indicator gauge on the dial called a power reserve gauge on the dial there, which is not new to the EcoDrive movements, but you can see it there. But you can also ask yourself how much sunlight your body's been exposed to. We need some sunlight, but too much exposure is bad for health. So theoretically speaking, you could use this system to see how much sunlight you've been exposed to. And this is the only time I've seen this feature outside of a smartwatch environment. I've seen them in some Garmin watches, but it's quite a rare feature, and I think it's really cool that Citizen was able to put it into the U822. The watch dial itself has really good lume. I recommend that you see the review on the website just to see the lume shot. Pretty much everything is lumed. But otherwise, it's very easy to read the time with the analog hands. Citizen really wanted to make sure that this had a traditional sort of military outdoors-esque look to it. So you can sort of see the time easily at a glance through the analog hands. But if you want to look at the screen, additional information is available. Other features include a chronograph, alarm, stopwatch. I will say, though, that in terms of understanding how to use the systems intuitively, I couldn't figure out how to change modes without looking at the instructions. I figured out a lot, but how to change modes, I wasn't quite sure how to do. And it turns out you have to push the crown in, which also puts it into settings mode. So I thought I was adjusting the time, but that's also the way to change it to the other modes. You push this button in here, and then you push the lower button, which cycles it through the different modes. Not that hard, but I was too dumb to figure it out on my own. This version of the Promaster Land U822 is a limited edition in celebration of the 35th anniversary of the Citizen Promaster name. We have more information on a blog to watch about Promaster and the 35th anniversary, but this version adds a couple of features. There's this sort of Damascus steel style bezel. The dial is sort of a little bit of a camouflage look to it. And in addition to the steel bracelet, there's a fabric bracelet with a gray camouflage pattern on it as well. And again, that's part of the special version for the 35th anniversary, which is more expensive than the standard one. So if you think that the price is high for this, remember that the standard models are significantly lower. The case is in steel. It's about 44 millimeters wide, about 15 millimeters thick, so it's a largish watch. I would have loved for this to be in super titanium. That would have meant it was going to be a lot lighter, but this is a steel watch on a bracelet, so it's a weighty timepiece, definitely comfortable. But Citizen, I think that super titanium and this new memory and pixel screen and ana-digidial would go very well together. So think about in the future. I'm sure that they'll do that. But otherwise, this is a very competent watch that does a lot of things. It feels very adventure-y. You also have here another crown, which adjusts an internal rotating bezel, which has some compass points on it, as well as, for the most part, functions as a 60-minute timer. So again, a lot of real mixture between these digital and analog elements. That was a big theme of the Promaster Land U822. Price for this version is $795, and you can see the full review of the Citizen Promaster Land U822 on a Blog to Watch. Thanks.